Imagine you're handed 10,000 shuffled cards. Sort them. Fast. You could compare each card with every other, but that's a million operations. There has to be a smarter way. The answer is one of the most elegant ideas in all of computer science: merge sort. Think about how you'd find a word in a dictionary. You don't read page by page. You split the book in half, decide which side holds your word, and split again. That single idea, divide, conquer, combine, is the heart of merge sort. Here's the recipe. Take your list, cut it down the middle, sort the left half, sort the right half, then merge them back together in order. But wait, how do you sort each half? Simple. You apply the same recipe: cut, sort, merge. Again and again until each piece is just one element which is already sorted by definition. This is recursion, a function that solves a big problem by calling itself on smaller versions of the same problem. Now watch the real magic, the merge step. We have two sorted halves. We place a finger at the start of each. We compare the two values, take the smaller one, and move that finger forward. Repeat. Every element gets placed in linear time. That's it. That's the whole algorithm. Let's level up. Why is merge sort so fast? Every time we split, we cut the problem in half. Starting from n elements, we can only have about log n times before we hit single elements. So our tree of recursive calls has log n levels. At every level across all the subproblems, we touch n elements during merging. N elements times log n levels gives us n log n total work. That's the famous n log n running time. For 10,000 cards, that's about 130,000 operations, not 100 million. And here's the beauty. This bound holds in the best case, the worst case, and the average case. Merge sort is predictable. It never betrays you. There's a subtle property worth knowing. Merge sort is stable. If two cards have the same value, their original order is preserved. That matters when you're sorting records by multiple fields. The trade-off? Merge sort needs extra memory, an auxiliary array of size n, to perform the merge. It's not in place like quicksort, but that predictable speed and stability is often worth the cost. Now let's see it in code. In Python, it's astonishingly short. We define merge sort. If the array has one element or less, return it. Otherwise, split it in the middle, recursively sort both halves, then merge. The merge function walks two pointers through the sorted halves, picking a smaller element each time. About 20 lines. And you have one of the most powerful algorithms ever invented. But there's more than one flavor of merge sort. The version we just saw is called top-down. It uses recursion to split first, then merge. There's also bottom-up merge sort. Instead of recursing, it starts by merging pairs of single elements, then pairs of pairs, and so on, doubling the size each pass. No recursion, just iteration. Same complexity, often faster in practice due to better cache behavior. And then there's natural merge sort. It's clever. It scans your data for runs, sequences that are already sorted, and merges those. If your data is partially sorted, natural merge sort can run in nearly linear time. This idea inspired timsort, the hybrid algorithm that powers Python's sorted function and Java's arrays.sort. Every time you call sort in Python, a descendant of merge sort is doing the work. Merge sort isn't just an academic exercise. It's used in external sorting files too large to fit in memory. Databases use it. Operating systems use it. Even MapReduce, the algorithm behind Google's search infrastructure, is essentially a distributed merge sort. Whenever data needs to be combined, ordered, or made consistent across many machines, merge sort or its descendants are there. So next time you call sort, remember, beneath that single function call lies a 75-year-old idea from John von Neumann. Divide, conquer, merge. Simple, elegant, unbeatable. If this gave you a new way to see sorting, hit subscribe and stay curious. Because the most beautiful algorithms are the ones that, once you see them, you can never unsee.